Hello everyone and thanks for hanging out with me. Today Volkswagen released a little PDF document on the First Movers Club Facebook group, and it's about tips and tricks regarding the ID software 2.3 over-the-air update, and want to go through the whole document for the people who don't have or not a first mover or are not in the group because you don't like Facebook or something. But let's go right into it. A few people, me included, experienced a few problems with downloading or installing, and this is a few things that should help. Number one is of course with the download and its weak internet connection. The problem is that right now 3G is being shut down in a lot of places, and that's why we're going through the thing. So, when the reception of 4G network is too weak within the first seconds after you start your ID, the online connectivity unit, so guessing it's something in there, this is what the ORAN thing updated. There was an update before, may not establish a connection and enters a fallback mode, 2G or Edge, where the download can be started. This mode remains active until you park and leave your car for at least 15 minutes, even if the infotainment system may show a 4G connection in the course of the trip. That's important. So you see 4G, but it doesn't have that. What can you do about it right now? The car requires a stable 4G connection when started to trigger the download. Therefore, please ensure that you park your car in an area with good 3 or 4G reception. And for the future, what will we do about it in the future? We will extend the time frame in which the OCU tries to establish a connection to the 4G network, so the issue will occur much less frequently. For countries currently switching off the 3G network, we also expect a more stable 4G network over time. Also important with this, how you can see if this internet connection is working. I made a little video. And Volkswagen gave me a trick how to see if you have a problem with your internet connection in your car, and what internet connection you have. So if it's good enough for the update. You get to the car. It was off for a while. The first thing is, this has to be green. That means you have internet connection, it's fine. And the second, to see if the internet connection is enough, let it boot up. Go to navigation. Let the navigation boot up. And now you will have your last destinations at some point. And if now they have no internet connection, and when they turn green, then you have internet connection. And the time from gray to green right now, this is very fast, that's perfect. If this takes 1 or 2 minutes, it's still okay. But if this takes 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes till they go from gray to green, then your internet connection at the spot you are is not good. Thank you. Let's go back. Jumpstart arrow. When the ID is unlocked, entered and started ignition on within a short time, the so-called software management client cannot boot properly. What can you do about it right now? After unlocking your ID, please wait about 60 seconds before switching on the ignition, which is done by pressing down the brake pedal or start the button. To the start engine button. I don't know if this is an error that can happen. It doesn't mean this is all the time. They're just showing what can happen and what you can do about it. And optimization of the software management client is underway. So this will be changed in the future. Put forward of 7-day trigger. As we know, the Id.3, Id.4, we always look at the backend for only once a week, and nobody knows when. It depends on the web connection unit or whatever, whenever that was turned on in the car for the first time. So when they were building it and they got the first power, this is where it's starting to do the trigger every 7 days, and will contact the Volkswagen backend server and say, do you have an update? And if the server says no, then I'm fine. And if there's no connection, then it thinks that there's no update, and that was the problem in number 1. But let's go to number 3. Some of you are waiting more than 7 days for an update. That's because the 7-day trigger may reset itself if its last attempt of connecting to the backend wasn't successful. This is 1 and 2. What do we do about it in the future? An optimization of a trigger is underway, so the 7-day trigger will not reset itself until the connection to the backend has been successful. And this is important, and it should have been in there, of course, since the beginning. So if it tries to connect and there's no connection, it should not say, okay, then let's try next week. It should say, let's wait till there's a stable connection and then do it. And you see also information. The 7-day trigger was designed to reduce unnecessary data traffic energy consumption, since there are no updates planned in a higher frequency than weekly at most. There won't be. So I'm pretty sure it's every 3 months or so. Then, update available notification but no installation button on the goodbye screen. C.2, the software management client is also responsible for the deployment of the installation button on the goodbye screen. So if you downloaded your update, but doesn't say anything with installing, leave the car, don't switch on the car in the first 60 seconds when you came in. Again, this is when this has happened. It wasn't with me. No update of the factory reset. This is important. We have seen a few disenrollments, factory reset, or vehicle deleted from the WeConnect ID app performed by the users. Unfortunately, those IDs haven't requested an update ever since. After you have agreed for the update, please do not reset your ID to factory settings. Do not delete it from the WeConnect ID app. This will result in your ID being automatically removed from the current update campaign and will not bring any advantages. Right now, when you enroll so that you want your update, don't do a reset and don't remove your WeConnect ID connection or whatever. In the future, for those of you who have already done so, we will restart the Id.3 software 2.3 campaign within the next 2 weeks as a final update wave for all of you and all first movers who have not yet received or responded to the opt-in mail but requested an update. Please make sure you have your ID registered to the WeConnect ID app until then, otherwise the update will not work. I said that in the other video, your ID has to be connected to WeConnect ID account, otherwise you cannot get the over-the-air update. And the first movers could email a special email address and say, I want the update, and then you gotta email back, you will get the update. And this is now the next thing. I want over-the-air update. You email this, but it's important that the email you sent was the email address your WeConnect ID account was registered in. If you have it registered under one email and then you email a different email, it just doesn't work. It says it also in there, or in the spam folder, whatever. And you can do that again till August 8th. You have performed reset factory, what we just said. You have sent us an email from email address not connected to WeConnect. I said this. It cannot be excluded that there's an issue on our backend side. We are continuously analyzing each individual case manually but haven't found an issue yet. If 1 to 3 do not apply, please contact us in the First Movers Club. And that's it. So they're working on it. I like that it's not just, okay, it doesn't work, we'll fix it in the next update in 3 months. They're really working on it right now. And I was in contact with Volkswagen over the weekend when I got my update, because it was also not showing up properly like I thought it should be. But it's just step by step, and for them it's new, and but I get that it can be very frustrating, but they're working on it and they're trying hard. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.